Now, I'm sure a lot of us have experienced this. Probably at some point you finished your 9 to 5, you sat down to work on your side hustle, and then nothing happened. Not because you did not care, not because you weren't motivated, but because you were just done. And no planner, no app, no color-coded calendar was able to fix that. Because none of them were built for a person who gave everything to someone else's goals all day. However, this template that I'm about to show you today was built exactly for that moment. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through every single section of the Energy First Planner, how to use it, why it's designed the way it is, and how it can help you finally show up for your own goals without burning out in the process. And if you haven't grabbed your copy yet, the link is down in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment in the comment section. So go ahead and watch this video, see if this is something you need, and after that, go grab your own copy. Now, if you already bought this template, or if you're watching this trying to figure out how to be more productive, and also if this kind of content speaks to you, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Every week I talk about productivity, peace, and how to build a creative side hustle without burning out. And I would love to have you here. So let's get in. I'm going to tell you a little story about myself, why I created this planner, and how it all came about, basically. A couple of years ago, I was in full hustle mode. I was reading every business book, listening to all sorts of podcasts, watching every influencer I could find who said, I make 10K every single month, every single week doing ABC. And I started a podcast, I started a YouTube channel, a blog, a service business, and I was posting on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, like everywhere. And I ended up overwhelmed, overcommitted, and deeply, deeply burned out. I had a to-do list that never ever got completed. I was tired and I was depleted, right? And 2 years into that, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now, that was my wake-up call, because I remember thinking, this cannot be my life, right? There has to be a way for me to be able to pursue my goals without literally feeling like I'm destroying myself in the process. And that's when I found the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And that book literally changed everything for me. Together with prayer, rest, relying on God for clarity and peace, I stopped trying to do everything and started focusing on one thing at a time. And I built a system that actually works for my life, not an influencer's life, not someone else's life, because I have no idea what actually realistically goes on in their life. So the system that I built was for me, my reality, my schedule, my time, my energy, my capacity, my season, right? So this Energy First Planner is the core to that system. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. All right. So once you get the planner, this is a page that is going to be available to you. What you need to do is click here, get Notion. If you do not already have a Notion account, if this is the first time that you're using Notion, then you need to create a free Notion account. You can use this planner with a free Notion account. You do not need to use a paid version. However, if you already have a Notion account, what you need to do is simply duplicate this. So once you duplicate this, it is going to be saved in your own Notion account. So either you create a free Notion account if you do not have a Notion account, or you simply duplicate this so you can have this planner for yourself and do with it whatever you want. So I'm going to use my own copy for this, the master copy, not the one that you literally downloaded, but it's the same thing. So what you are going to do is you're going to go ahead and click the very first page right here. If you, for some reason, get the planner and it just shows you a new page, all you need to do is just click it here and it's going to show you a new page with everything filled in. You do not need to fill in anything. Everything is already filled in. So let's say tonight you want to plan for tomorrow, right? You want to make sure that you have everything planned out for tomorrow. So you wake up tomorrow with clarity. You're going to go right here and you're going to put the date. That is the day of today. But what you want to do is you want to plan for tomorrow. So you're going to put 22nd of April. So since we are planning for the 22nd, the first thing that we are going to do is put in what our energy forecast is going to be. What do you think your energy is going to be like tomorrow? We're going to assume that it's going to be high. So you're going to put that right here. Now here it says actual energy in the morning, actual energy PM, actual energy at night. So right now, since we're planning for tomorrow, we do not know what our actual energy is. However, tomorrow, which is at the 22nd evening, when you're planning for the 23rd, you're going to come right here and you're going to fill in what your actual energy on the 22nd was like during the day. What was your energy like in the morning? What's your energy like in the afternoon? What's your energy like in the evening, right? At night before you went to sleep. So this is when you're planning for the next day that you're going to feel this in. Now, tomorrow, what is your one thing for your 9 to 5 job? What is it that you absolutely must do tomorrow? You might have a long list of tasks that you need to get done. However, you need to prioritize right here. What is the number one thing that you need to get done tomorrow? Now you can just put in here complete report or whatever that is, right? You can just say it's to complete a report. What is your one thing for your side hustle tomorrow? What is the one thing that you absolutely need to do? If tomorrow is a day where you work on your side hustle, then go ahead and write it. If tomorrow is not a day that you work on your side hustle, you can leave the space empty. So this all depends on the days that you have dedicated to work on your side hustle. So if you have watched a lot of my videos, you do know that I advise that you do not work on your side hustle every single day. You look for specific days where you have high energy to dedicate towards your side hustle, depending on your capacity. So let's say tomorrow you are working on your side hustle. So what is the one thing that you need to do for your side hustle? And be as specific as possible. Maybe you can say you need to do cuts on one video. So that is the one thing for tomorrow. Now, right here, this says one thing for your personal life, for your family. What is the one thing that you absolutely must do for your family, for your personal life, for yourself, right? Maybe tomorrow you need to take your kids for the sports activities, or you need to do meal prep, whatever it is. Let's just say meal prep. We're going to put here meal prep. This is the one thing that you need to do tomorrow, which is personal, your family, your life, whatever it is. So every single day, you do not need to have more than 3 priorities on your list, and 3 in 3 different areas of your life. Now, things happen. You might change here and there. This is your life. This is your own system, right? But not more than 3 important things that you need to get done every single day. Now, this next block right here, or this next tab right here is for you to write down what your side hustle block is. What time are you going to work on your side hustle? Is it 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.? Is it 9 p.m. to 11 p.m.? Whatever that is, if tomorrow is your side hustle day, what time are you going to work on your side hustle? And we're going to assume here that is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is your side hustle block. Now, this here you are going to fill out tomorrow because this is your peace level. What was your peace level during the day, which is the 22nd? How did you feel? Were you at peace? Or were you full of anxiety? What is your peace level? Because the focus here is for you to have peace. As you achieve your goals throughout your journey, the number one priority is peace. For me, it is peace. And that is what I do encourage and advise everybody to try to achieve. Regardless of what you're doing, your goals, it should bring you peace. If it's not bringing you peace, then you need to go back, reverse engineer, recalibrate, and figure out how do I make sure that I am at peace with what I'm doing, with my system, with my journey, the decisions that I make. So what was your peace level? And this is going to be filled out tomorrow right here before you go back and create a new plan for the next day. Now, this right here, were you able to get your one thing done? All of this, were you able to get all of this stuff done? If it's a yes, you just go ahead and tick this box. So let's assume that yesterday I was able to get everything right here that I planned. I was able to get it done. So you just check this. And then here, your pace level. We're going to assume that the pace level was also at 4. It wasn't right there, but I was pretty much at pace. Maybe it was just this particular thing that really bothered me. If that is true, then you have to do some writing and some journaling to reflect on this one thing, figure out could I have approached it differently and all of that. So this is how you feel that in. And then we're going to assume that yesterday my energy was actually high. My actual energy in the morning was pretty much high. My energy in the afternoon, maybe it was also high. However, my energy in the evening was low. So this is it. You've pretty much filled it for yesterday right here. And you anticipate that this is what your energy is going to be tomorrow, right? All day tomorrow, basically. And then this is what you're actually going to get done tomorrow. This is your one thing for your 9 to 5, one thing for your side hustle, and one thing for your personal family life. So again, this is you planning for tomorrow. What is your scripture for tomorrow? What is your affirmation for tomorrow? If it is a scripture for you, write it here. You can just delete this and then write whatever your scripture is. Then you can go here and be more specific. What is the one thing? What is your highlight for tomorrow? So what is the one thing that, if done, makes everything else easier or necessary? This is what you must do even if you do not get everything else done. So even though you have all of these three here, what is the absolutely number one thing that you need to do? You still need to prioritize all of this, right? What is the number one thing that you need to do? Probably it's going to be complete this report because it is basically for your job, so you do not get fired. So probably you're going to put it right here that it is to complete the report tomorrow. You definitely have to do it. If for some reason, maybe you were put into so many meetings, you were not able to complete it, you know that probably you're going to come home and try to complete it during this time or even during this time, right? To ensure that you actually complete that report and submit it maybe by the end of the week or when you're expected to submit it, right? So what is your one thing, your highlight, the absolute number one thing that you must do? You need to write it down. So even if you do not get this still done, it is not the end of the world because this one right here was done. Now, let's talk about your energy. If you do not know your energy patterns, you probably will not be able to figure this out right now, but this is something that you want to monitor. However, let's just say that during your high energy block, or normally your high energy block is in the morning between 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. What you call your circadian rhythm, your body clock, basically says that we humans, everybody, for the most part, our highest energy is between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. That is when we have the highest energy. It might be different for some people. It might be different also depending on the time that you work. We all have different times that we work. So this here is for you to simply figure out what is your high energy block. Honestly, for me, my highest energy is between 10, 11, 1 p.m. That is when I have the highest energy. But normally I'm not a morning person. I wake up in the morning because I have to. But at night, I equally have high energy. Like in the evenings, if I do not work a lot in the morning, in the evenings, I really do have high energy. Between 6 p.m. to like 10, I do have high energy during those periods. So what time do you have high energy? Let's say your energy is highest at 10 to 12 p.m. Just go ahead and write it right here, whatever time it is for you. So during that time, you want to ensure that you are doing more deep work. This is where your highlight goes. This number one thing right here, you're going to write it right here. Now, you can break it down to make the task easier for you to complete. If you want to write a report, it might be easier for you to be like, first, I'm going to do some research. Secondly, I am going to maybe talk to people. Third, I am going to put it in an Excel. Then lastly, I'm going to submit it in an email, and I'm going to ensure that I copy everybody that needs to get this report. So just break it down like that in order to make it easier for you. So if you need to break it down, you can do that. If not, that's perfect. It is your work. It all depends on you. So during your high energy window, that is when you put in your one thing, your highlight for the day, the thing that you absolutely must do. You want to get that done during your high energy block. Again, this depends. Let's say it's a Saturday. We're planning for a Saturday. Normally, if your high energy block is between 10 and 12, it's going to be like that every single day throughout, right? And on Saturday, since you're not working your 9 to 5, assuming that is your normal work hours, you are going to say, during this time on Saturday, I'm actually going to dedicate towards my side hustle. And during this block, I'm going to do more deep work. And whatever that is for you, whether it's strategy planning, maybe it's content creation, or maybe you're working on your product, right? You are going to focus on that during this high energy block. Now, when it comes to your medium energy block, maybe that looks like between 1 and 4 p.m. What are you going to focus on during that time? Probably it's going to be more emails, do reviews. You're going to focus on meetings, whatever it is for you. Maybe it is a day when you're not working, let's say a Saturday, or it is a Sunday. That is when you're going to probably do laundry. You are going to maybe do some kid stuff, whatever it is. It's not when you have your highest energy. So for you personally, what is that time? And once you know that time, you know the kind of tasks that you are going to do during this block. Now you have your low energy block, right? What time is that for you? Maybe it's like 7 to 8:30 or 7 to 9, 7 to 10, whatever that is. And here you want to focus more on routine tasks like admin, inbox, or you want to relax. You want to rest during this time. If you really do have low energy and you do not want to do anything, maybe you plan this for your rest. So when do you have low energy? All of this is for you to figure out. The reason for this planner is so you can can get to understand your energy patterns. So if right now you're starting and you really do not know your energy patterns, that is perfect. You can still continue to base this on assumptions. That is why when you plan like this, you come back the next day and you actually feel in your actual energy, so you can see the patterns and then plan accordingly as time goes on. Now, once you have put in your low energy, the next thing we have here is to really figure out our side hustle block. So your side hustle block right here, this is basically, when do you work on your side hustle? Do you work on your side hustle on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Do you work maybe Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays? Do you work maybe Sunday and Monday? What time do you work on your side hustle? And it's very advisable for you to have a dedicated weekly reoccurring time block for your side hustle. This is going to help you stay consistent. So you want to have a reoccurring block. If you do not have that now, that's okay. Again, we're going to work based on assumptions. But as time goes on, you want to have a reoccurring block on your calendar for your side hustle. And we're going to assume that you work on your side hustle Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, where you do more deep work, because that is when you have more energy. Maybe in the morning, you're going to do deep work because you're not working on your 9 to 5, but you have energy in the mornings. So you're going to dedicate some time on Saturday mornings to do deep work for your side hustle. So what energy do you expect to have for your side hustle tomorrow? If tomorrow is not a day that you work on your side hustle, you can just skip this all together. But let's say tomorrow is Thursday, you do work on your side hustle tomorrow, but you feel like Thursdays you do have medium energy doing your side hustle block, then you're just going to put here medium. And here, what is the one thing for your side hustle tomorrow? What is the one focus task that moves the needle? You can simply come right here, look at it, and do the same thing. Just write it here again. It helps you really understand that I need to be very, very specific, and I need to ensure that I am focusing on the most important thing to get me the highest results. Because first, I do not have all the time in the world, like someone who doesn't have a full-time job and basically focuses on their business. But because you have a 9 to 5, or you have a full-time job and you have a side hustle, you need to be very, very specific and very, very particular, and really learn to prioritize ruthlessly when it comes to your side hustle. So what is the one thing for your side hustle? You're going to write it here. And then what is your actual energy during your side hustle? You're going to feel this tomorrow. Once you're filling in your plan for tomorrow, you're just going to fill this in, kind of elaborate more. It can be the same thing right here. Maybe your side hustle is in the evening or in the night. So it could be this, or maybe you realize that actually during the time when you're working on your side hustle, your energy kind of picks up because you're really focused on that. So you can change that to medium. So again, it's for you to really understand your patterns and understand your body and understand your energy. So did you stick to the block? What helped or what hurt? If you were not able to stick to this block, again, go a little bit deeper. What helped you stick to the block? If you were not able to stick to the block, what happened? Maybe you got distracted. Maybe you were not very clear with your boundaries. This is going to help you figure that out, so you make adjustments as you go. So you have planned for tomorrow. Now, this is your tonight's reflection, and you're reflecting today, how your day went today. What are the 3 things that you are grateful for today? Make sure you write 3 things. I do advise that you write 3 things. You can be grateful for the fact that you really had a great day at work. You can be grateful for the fact that your pace level was at a 5. You can be grateful for the fact that you completed a task, right? Whatever it is, just find something to be grateful for. It is very important. I'm telling you this, like for real. It is really, really important that you end your day being grateful, because it helps you sleep better. It helps you not sleep with distress and anxiety, but helps you clear your mind and be grateful and be at peace once you go to bed, and wake up with more clarity and also with a content heart. That is very important. So you want to write 3 things that you're grateful for every day before you go to bed, or when you're doing your reflection, when you're planning for the next day. And then you also want to do your contentment check right here. Today's pace level, what was it? Was it a 1 or was it a 5 or whatever? It can be the same thing here. Are you content at this stage? If you're content, you can simply write yes. If you're not content, you can write no and write why you are not content. Usually when you're at peace, it's because you're content. But if you figure out that your pace level is always 1 or 2, then you need to figure out why that contentment is not there. And this just helps you kind of journal and reflect on this to figure all of this stuff out, so you get to that 4 or 5 stage of peace and contentment in your life, in your journey, in whatever you are doing at the moment. And lastly, you want to do tonight's wind down, so you can pretty much set up for tomorrow. What is one win from today? Even if it's a small win, that counts. You can take the same thing from here and right here, or you can take one thing from here hearing right here that this was absolutely a win. I completed that report. That is absolutely a win. Or I was at a 5 level of contentment. That is absolutely a win. Or I was able to get everything done. That is a win. Just write your one win, whatever that is right here. What am I releasing tonight, not carrying forward? If there was something that bothered you throughout the day, you want to release it. You want to say, this thing really bothered me. However, I'm not taking it to tomorrow. I'm just releasing it and letting it stay right here on this page. That is why you want to always do this, so you are not sleeping with any anxiety, but you're focusing on peace, on rest, and joy as you move forward. And lastly, what is your one thing? So you want to confirm what your one thing is, or you want to go ahead and adjust that above. So right here, we did mention what is the number one thing. If these 3 things do not get done, that is the one thing here among these 3 things that absolutely must get done. That is what you write here. That is your highlight. So this again just wants you to confirm, like a reminder. Again, what is your one thing for tomorrow? So go ahead and write your highlight right here. Maybe it is to complete that report. You want to write it down right here. Complete report, that is your one thing. If you want to make adjustments, you can go ahead and adjust it here where we first put it down. You can adjust it right here. If not, you can write the same thing here just for you to have it in your mind. You want to internalize it and say, this right here is like the one thing that I must do tomorrow. So this is what you want to fill out. Probably at the start, it's going to take you maybe 15 to 20 minutes to fill this out, but this can literally take you 5 minutes to complete, right? But you want to keep about 15 minutes every single night to fill this out. Fill the one out for the day before, then fill out what you're doing for tomorrow. 15 minutes top is going to be enough for you to complete this. Now, the next thing that we are going to talk about is the energy log. So we have worked on your tomorrow plan, right? Now we're going to come here to the energy log. So everything that you log in here is going to show up here on the day of. Your patterns for the past 7 days, for the past week, that's what is going to be displayed right here on this log. You can change it if you want your patterns for the past month to show whatever you want. You can actually change that in your own planner, right? So if you come right here to filter, you can change it from past week to past month, or you can do past year, whatever works for you. So let's say you want your patterns for the past month to show up. You simply just change it. And if you see here, this is what I had filled out a while ago. And you see that this all shows up. This is for the past month. So here you're going to see your forecast right here, energy forecast. And then this is your actual energy. Again, this is the energy log. So we are really focusing on tracking your energy. And we also do have the peace level and we have the one thing. So you're going to see your patterns. You see the days that you're actually able to complete your one thing and see your energy patterns throughout the week or the month. So you don't need to fill this out yourself. All you need to do is fill out the planner itself, and then it's going to show up right here. You're going to be able to see your patterns, and you're going to see if you have been able to effectively forecast your energy. If not, that's okay, because the energy log is going to show you your actual real energy, and then you are going to make adjustments as possible. So for example, if you realize that you always put high energy, but when you wake up in the morning, your energy is usually low, then you have to figure out what you are doing personally that makes your energy low. What is happening in your body? What are you doing that is causing your energy to consistently be low? Then you can make adjustments. Maybe it's to your routines or what you eat or the way you sleep or whether you're working out or not, right? So all of that is going to inform you on the kind of changes that you need to make in order to improve your energy in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So this is really for you to understand your energy patterns and make adjustments as needed. So this is your energy patterns. You're going to use this to inform your decisions and make adjustments to your routines, to your lifestyle, to your blocks, to your productivity, to your system as needed. So once you see this, you're going to realize that I think that in the morning, for the most part, you either have high or medium energy. So this is good for you to always do your one thing right here. In the evenings, you realize that you do have low or medium energy for the most part. So you do know that during this this time, you're going to focus on things like meetings and reviews during this period. This block here, you realize that in the night, you actually do have medium energy. So you can really get some side hustle work done during any of these days. Again, you do not have to do it every day. You can pick maybe here, which is high, and then medium, medium, here too, which is high, medium, medium, and then decide that those are my best side hustle days because my energy is pretty much at a level where I can maintain focus throughout the day. So you decide that your side hustle days are this day and this day. Again, you figure out what these days are. You can come here and say 7th is a Tuesday, and then here 5th is a Sunday, right? So you can decide that I'm going to monitor my energy on these Tuesdays and Sundays to really figure out if those are the best days for me to dedicate towards my side hustle. So once all of this is filled out within the week, at the end of the week, let's say on Sunday, when you're planning for Monday, you want to come to this part right here and really analyze what your week's pattern was. You just want to write it down. What was your peak day? Maybe your peak day is this day right here, which is a Tuesday, right? You're going to write here, my highest energy day was Tuesday. What was your best time for deep work? Maybe for you, it's in the morning, right here. You're going to say my best time for deep work is in the morning, 10 to 12. You want to write that down so you can take note of that. And then what is your best side hustle window? Again, we did determine here that your best side hustle window is this day, like Sundays and Tuesdays, right? You can write it down here, Sundays and Tuesdays, and you can equally write the time. So you want to ensure that you are really monitoring all of this. Now, once you have done that, written all of this down, the next thing is here where you're actually going to plan for your side hustle. Now, this is your side hustle calendar right here. So it says you're going to schedule your task based on your energy level. So it's your one task per day on the days that you have blocked out for your side hustle. So since we have realized that our best days to work on a side hustle is Tuesdays and Sundays, you're going to come right here. Next week, Tuesdays and Sunday, you're going to come here. So Sunday, you are going to put your one item for your side hustle. So we're going to say, for example, record one video. And then Tuesday next week, we are going to say create content, right? So this is what you're going to have for your side hustle. Now, you've already blocked out your time for your side hustle, right? Time that you're actually working on your side hustle. Maybe it's 7 to 9 p.m. That is already blocked out on your calendar. So you probably receive a notification at that time saying, reminder, this is the time for your side hustle, right? What you're going to do is simply open this calendar. We're going to assume this is Sunday. Sunday, this is what I'm focusing on. I'm going to record one video. That is all what you need. You're not going to sit down at that time trying to figure out what am I going to work on. You already know what you're going to work on. So you're going to sit down, you're going to do your recording. And once you've done your recording, you're just going to take 15 minutes to basically plan for the week. And all you need to do is right here, create content on Tuesdays because this is the day that you are working on your side hustle. Going to plan for this week till the next Sunday, which you're probably going to write something else, maybe create your product or create that lead magnet, whatever it is. Right? But from this pattern right here, you know exactly the days that is best for you to work on your side hustle because from this energy log, you've understood that on Sundays and on Tuesdays, that is when you have your highest energy. And that is the time that you can actually dedicate towards your side hustle. It doesn't have to be every day, but you have taken that from the data right here that you can work on your side hustle on these 2 days. If you want to add another day, that's up to you and up to your energy patterns right there. So use this log to figure out what your energy patterns are. And once you figure that out, again, you can make adjustments as time goes on. Once you figure out what your patterns are, once you figure out what days you have energy, if you realize that you always have low energy, then there's something wrong, right? It means you will have to make some changes in your system. You have to make some changes with your routines. So this really helps you have a visual on how your energy fluctuates throughout the day and throughout the week and even throughout the month, right? And also for women, you're going to realize that probably your energy at certain periods of the month no pun intended. It's probably going to fluctuate, right? It's going to be different. That happens for me. So once you understand that, then you are going to equally plan accordingly. So this is really for you to start to understand your energy patterns and plan and make adjustments to your routines, to your system, and really build a system that works for you and for your life and helps you get the right things done. So you want to do this for 2 to 4 weeks. The sweet spot is 3. You can do it for more time than that if you want to get more information from your patterns. So after this time of logging, you're going to see your natural rhythm, and then you're going to schedule your one thing and your side hustle in your highest energy windows consistently. And this right here is how you create a system that works for you. So do not forget about your peace level. Do not forget about your contentment level. You're content, you're at peace. That also informs you on what you should change, the kind of boundaries that you need to make if you have to, in order to really get to that 4, 5 level of peace in my life and in my journey. So this right here is the Energy First Planner. Get your copy. The link is in the description box below. The link is in the first pinned comment below. Get your copy. Please leave a review. I would really love to hear more about how this has helped you, and leave a comment below. What do you think? I would be more than happy to read from you. Thank you so much for watching, and please grab your own copy. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, share with somebody who needs an Energy First Planner so they can actually plan and build a system based on their real life, their real energy, so they can stay consistent. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.